Here's how to eat for longevity and disease prevention. I'm Jacob Pfau, owner of Primal Barbell, a strength training gym in Chicago, Illinois. And if you're wondering how to eat for longevity and disease prevention, you're in the right place. If you're concerned about preventing disease, it's important to understand the warning signs that come before disease. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of symptoms that you should be familiar with so that you can recognize when your body is sending alarms and trying to let you know that something is wrong. Metabolic syndrome includes low HDL cholesterol, high triglycerides, high blood sugar, elevated blood pressure, and a poor waist to hip ratio. If you're experiencing several of the symptoms on this list, then you are on the path towards disease. And we're going to cover the way that you can right the ship and get turned around so you're headed in the right direction. There's a few things that need to happen for a disease to be present. One of them, your genetics are a factor. So you might have a predisposition for a certain condition or disease. That's the only thing you don't have control over, but generally the other factors are things that you can control. So gut health is going to be a primary factor, especially permeability of your intestines. And the other factor is going to be things in your environment and your nutrition that trigger your body to react and either have inflammation or cause damage. So triggers, poor gut health, and genetics contribute to disease. But a lot of that is within our control. And as I've personally learned, even though high blood pressure runs in my family, I've been able to avoid it by securing good gut health and eliminating foods that are triggers for me. Sugar is one of the main factors that leads to problems in our body. And that's because eating a diet high in sugar leads to elevated insulin levels. And this can cause all kinds of problems in our body. Elevated insulin leads to excessive inflammation, and it can lead to kidney problems and also diabetes. Our culture in America is based around sugar. Most Americans are probably addicted to sugar and possibly caffeine as well. Dunkin' Donuts is one of the most popular places that people go in the morning to start their day. Dunkin' Donuts is essentially a playland for adults. As you walk in and you see the pink and orange colors, and every item on their list, every item on their menu is full of sugar. This is very addicting, and it becomes hard to break the cycle. But this high sugar intake, especially if you're not a fit person with a lot of muscle tissue, is likely to lead you down the path towards first metabolic syndrome and then eventually disease. So what is the solution? Well, as we cover the 3 macronutrients today, sugar, which is part of the carbohydrate macronutrient group, is the only macronutrient that is not essential and is not required for us to sustain our life. So if you want to right the ship and get turned around so you're in the right direction, what we want to do is take priority away from carbohydrates and sugar and place it into the other 2 macronutrients that are going to be satisfying and form the building blocks of a healthy, lean body. So the 3 macronutrients are carbohydrates, protein, and fat. If you want to improve your health, if you found yourself with some of the symptoms mentioned earlier, then we want to find a way to reduce your carbohydrate intake. My recommendation is to embrace a primal diet, and the reason for this is because it helps you avoid common trigger foods like whole grains, which trigger damage and inflammation in our guts. So following a primal diet, and to take it a step further, I recommend to keep your carbohydrates under 150 grams a day. And if you're really adamant about seeing a fast change, I would go even further than that and keep your carbohydrates under 100 grams per day. Primal approved carbohydrates would include non-starchy vegetables, fruits, Starchy tubers like sweet potatoes, root vegetables, squash, quinoa. These would be your carbohydrate sources. So you would want to eliminate grains such as rice, flour, wheat, legumes such as beans, chickpeas, hummus, and find a way to lower your carbs. This is going to go a long way to improving your health, and it starts with your blood sugar and your insulin response. In order to reduce your carbohydrates, we need to focus on what's going to sustain you and form the building blocks of a healthy, lean body. Protein is going to be at the center of that. Protein is what's going to fill you up and keep you satisfied through the day and help you get more of an even rise in your blood sugar, rise and fall of your blood sugar, so that you're not having abrupt spikes and abrupt crashes, which drain your energy, affect your mental game, and take you off your success path. My recommendation is to build every meal around protein and fill up with a good amount of protein, even aiming for your body weight in grams of protein every day. The third macronutrient that we need to take in, and it's essential, is fat. And fat contributes to our overall health, especially our hormone health. Healthy fats include animal fats, avocados, olives, and tropical oils like coconut oil and palm oil. Unhealthy fats would include canola oil, seed oils, vegetable oils, and trans fats. By eating a primal diet and making these adjustments, you can get rid of the trigger foods that are causing inflammation and high insulin. Elevated carb and sugar intake is leading us into the metabolic syndrome, and that's further leading us into more serious disease such as heart disease and diabetes. But there's always warning signs before you get to that disease point. Your gut is going to be off. You're going to have trouble with digestion, possibly constipation or diarrhea. Excessive carb intake leads to excessive triglycerides. You know, it's something we can track to your nutrition, why these problems occur. It's not useful to just blame your genetics, even though some of us are more susceptible. There's certainly an overall issue with the recommendations we've been given, and certainly our approach as Americans to eating. But that doesn't mean you can't be empowered to make better decisions and still have great energy while developing a better looking appearance and a better body, a more functional body that can stand up to the test of time and pursue longevity and avoid and stave off disease as long as possible. So hopefully after this video, you're more aware of the warning signs of disease and you're more empowered to make changes and adjustments to your diet so that you can put yourself in the best position to be successful. Now, if you need the fast track towards getting healthy through nutrition and you need the accountability to hold you to a plan that's going to bring about success, visit my website at primalbarbell.com and book a discovery call with me. And until next time, stay primal.